So in lieu of VEM 17, I thought I'd do a Q&A thing. I found some questions online. It was like a general Q&A question, so I've got them on my phone here and I'll just go through them all. If you have any questions that you want me to answer in the future, do leave them in the comment section below. And I think if I get enough questions, I'll just do another video, but if not, I'll just try and answer them in the comments. So let's start with question 1. Have you ever met someone famous? So I've never met someone famous like in the present, but there's some older people that I've met who are famous. So when I was younger, I did a pantomime and it was in Wimbledon Theatre. It was called Dick Whittington, and one of the actresses who was in it was Leslie Joseph, and she was in Birds of a Feather as an actress and other things as well. So I've met her, and that's the only one I can really think of, but I'm pretty sure there's a few more that I have met. Oh, I have met Idina Menzel and Adam Garcia because they played Elphaba and what was the prince's character's name? I can't remember now. I gotta think. Elphaba and damn it, I forgot. Glinda's other half, but not, because it's like the mixture from Wicked. Basically, I went to see the musical Wicked, and they were in it at that time. So happy to see that Idina was in it, and I'm so happy to see what she's done now. But I waited at the stage door with my friends and we almost missed our train home, and yeah, it was amazing. She was so good. That was the first time I'd seen Wicked. And Adam Garcia, I knew him from when he was in Coyote Ugly, and that was pretty cool. So yeah, I loved that. Okay, question 2. Would you like to be famous? So the answer is pretty much is yes. Hence why I make YouTube videos, and I have done for like almost 10 years now. I think it's been 9.5 years, which is crazy. And when I was younger, people always used to ask, well, you know, like when you're a child, people ask you, what do you want to be when you grow up? I was always like a pop star because I love singing and dancing, and then I realized I couldn't really sing that well, so then I just started saying I just want to be famous, because I just think it's so, well, when I was younger I used to think it was so glamorous and everything, but now I'm in two sort of minds about it, because like in this day and age when you're super famous, like everybody knows your entire business and like all of this stuff, so I'm not sure. I just want the glam life, so I'm happy to have a semi-glam life right now. So yeah, we'll just go with that. Question 3. If you could change one thing that happened, what would it be? One thing that happened, I don't know. I think one of the things that really sort of bugs me is that when I went to uni, I studied dance at uni, and then that's when I started YouTube and stuff, and it was amazing. But I feel like if I had danced more at uni, it would have been better. Like I didn't actually get to do a lot of practical, and in my schooling life I was dancing like at least 6 out of 7 days a week, so it was so good, and I completely miss it now, which is why I've been doing a lot of dancey workout videos in during this quarantine time. So yeah, I just wish I kept up my dancing and danced more. If you could live anywhere, where would that be? I really enjoy living in London. It's so accessible to anything that I need, and it's a great place to be in terms of traveling, because obviously you can fly. There's like 3 different London airports that are quite easily accessible, and you can fly to like lots of Europe destinations, and I've also been further than that. One place that I did honestly love was Australia. So I went to visit Sydney and Melbourne, and I loved both of those places, to be fair. And I wouldn't mind trying to live there for like a year or two or something like that. So that would be one of my choices. I also would like to go visit New Zealand, so that is another one on my list, and maybe New Zealand would be a place I could stay for a while because my cousin's there right now, so that's pretty good. Question 5, have you ever been in the snow? Yes, we sometimes get snow here in the UK, but I've also been to Finland and Iceland, and it's very snowy. Well, it's not snowy there all the time, but I went when it was snowy because we wanted to see like the glaciers and the northern lights and stuff, and it's a lot easier to go in the winter because there's less daylight, so there's more nighttime to see the lights. And I did manage to see the northern lights, which was pretty cool. And if you look back on my vlogs from last year December, no, 2 years ago December, I think it was is it 2018 December? That was when I went to Iceland with some friends, and you guys can visit Iceland with me. Oh, one other thing. Okay, I remember. So I also went to New York in February, and this was in like, it must have been like 2013, something like that. And my brother was living there, and I went to visit with my parents, and we spent like a week. I think it was about a week in New York. We had Chinese New Year there, basically. We weren't really celebrating as a family that year because one of my grandparents had passed away, so we weren't supposed to celebrate. So we just thought we'd go and visit my brother instead. And it was -4 during the day, I remember, as we were crossing, or pretty much running across the Brooklyn Bridge because it was so cold. But there was snow everywhere. I remember wearing my Columbia jacket because it was so cold, and I remember finding a new one because I love Columbia jackets. They're so cool, and I still wear one now because I just like this. It's like a ski jacket, and it's so warm and cozy in the winter, even in England where it doesn't get below -10, but still. Question 6, who would be your ideal partner? There's a lot of different things that I would look for in a partner. Someone who has the same values as me, but who can hold an argument with me, because you don't want them to just agree with you on everything because that would be so boring. But looks wise, there's a lot of people that I kind of love. Harry Shum Jr., when he was in Glee, was one of my total crushes. He played Mike Chang, and the dancing and the abs, and I'm just like, ah. And then there was Justin Min, who I think is the Chinese guy from Umbrella Academy. And now I'm just listing off a load of Asian guys, but there are some, there's a lot of, I don't know, there's a lot. I just can't think of them all right now. Question 7, do you still have your childhood teddy bear? So yes, I've actually brought 2 of them to show you. And I say 2 of them because obviously as a childhood you have lots. So this is the first one, and I named him Russ, but I think that's just because that's the company name. It's Russ, and I think they still make soft toys now. This was given to me by a family friend, and I don't know, I thought it was really cute. It's like a little clown bear. It's like a starfish. You know, it reminds me of Maggie in The Simpsons when she wears her winter starfish suit, kind of like that. But yeah, so he's my little clown. He's got a little tail, and he's been with me since I was really young. I don't think it was since I was a baby, but quite young. And he travels the world with me, so he's actually been to every country that I have been to. He doesn't travel with me all the time, because if I'm traveling to Asia or something, sometimes I'll just leave him at home because I've already been there with him. He's already come, and I didn't want to lose him. So, but he's been to every country that I've been to other than that. Russ. The second soft toy that I wanted to show you is my Minnie Mouse. Oh, she's so cute. Oh, I love Minnie, and I like that she's got shoes. She's quite old, and she's got bloomers, and they do come off. I think it's really funny. Minnie is my favourite Disney character ever. And this one is actually my second one because So when the first one that I got was a Christmas present from Santa, or my dad. I think it was from my dad and my mum and dad, because they know that I love Minnie Mouse because she's so cute and she's the girl mouse, and I've always loved Minnie and Mickey and Disney and stuff like that. So I got her, but not this her. And I took her to my dad's work one day while he was looking after me while I was on school holidays or something, and it was he had a little shop, so I was sitting outside the shop playing with her, and I sat her on a stool out front of the shop, and I think I had to go inside. I went behind the shop to get something or look at something like that, I don't know, and then I came back out the front, and then my dad was like, oh, where's Minnie? And I said, I don't know, maybe you hid her, because my dad used to like to play practical jokes on me and things like that, so I thought he'd hidden her, and he said no. And then I was like, yeah, you have, she's not there where I left her, on the stool in front of the shop. And he said no. And then it dawned on me suddenly that he wasn't playing a practical joke on me, and that someone had actually taken her. And obviously I cried because I was like 6 or 7, and she was like my best friend at that point. And yeah, it was so sad. And then the next Christmas, luckily Santa brought me this one instead, so I got my replacement. But you know, I still feel sad that the first one was gone, but hopefully she ended up in somebody's arms, some cute little girl's arms that needed the friend at that time. But yeah, so this is my second one. And look at her eye. I did her dirty because I don't know, I used to like paint, I think I painted it with nail polish, clear nail polish afterwards, but my mum had these alco wipes for like sterilizing, and I thought it was cool to like, it would be good to like clean her eyes, and because the alco wipes have like alcohol in, they're like the sterilization wipes, it like, I rubbed the paint off her eye. So yeah, poor Minnie. But yeah, that's my Minnie. So there we go, put her back. Question 8, how many pairs of shoes do you have? I'm not going to count them, there's so many. Being a dancer and actually never having thrown a lot of shoes away, just the other day I discovered I have about 5 pairs of point shoes still, and I don't do point anymore. They probably should be thrown away. I definitely have a pair of jazz boots as well, and 2 pairs of cheerleading trainers. I definitely have 2 pairs of normal trainers that I use every day. I have pairs of Keds. I have loads of heels because during uni time I used to just buy different pairs of heels because it was difficult to find size 3 heels. It's a lot easier now, and there's definitely only a few ones that I rotate around, and I'm not going out every week like I used to as a student, so I don't need that many pairs of heels. But yeah, it's a lot. I wouldn't say it's more than 50. Let's go with that. 9. Favorite holiday: beach, mountain, or city? I'm not really a mountain holiday person. I don't think I've ever been on a mountain holiday. But I do love the beach and city style ones. With my family, we've always been a sort of, you can go to a hot place with a beach, but you also have to be able to do other things as well. So for example, we went to Tenerife, and obviously people just lie on the beach there, but we went and did all these little touristy things, and then we like drove up and down the mountains there. They're not really mountains, but you know, just to like have a lot of visits of the scenery and things like that. So I don't mind either, as long as I do get some beach time. And if I go to the beach, I always have to touch the ocean or the sea, depending on where we go. So for example, if we're in Malaysia, I've been to that beach loads of times, so I don't mind not touching the sea there. But when we went to America last year, we went to Sacramento, I think it was, or Sarasota, something like that, and then there was like a few beaches there, and I definitely had to touch the water there. It was so good. I loved it. Question 10, do you like TV talent shows? I'm not saying I'm the biggest TV talent show fan. I used to love watching things like X Factor, Pop Idol when it first came out. That was amazing. Which is the UK version of American Idol, and it was also created by Simon Cowell. He seems to create a lot of these talent shows. I did enjoy watching Britain's Got Talent originally, but I think just as the years go on, it gets a bit samey, and so you don't really want to watch them anymore. And yeah, I just don't know. I'm not gonna say I'm not a fan of them, because I did used to enjoy them, but I think now it's a bit different. I don't know. Sometimes yes, sometimes no. Question 11. What's your opinion on reality TV shows? As you guys have been watching my vlogs recently, you probably have seen me watching The Hills. That's a reality TV show. And I also really love watching Made in Chelsea. That is one that I haven't ever stopped. But I've not ever watched The Only Way is Essex. I've not ever watched Jersey Shore. I've never watched Keeping Up with the Kardashians unless it's on at a friend's house and I'm just like hanging out with them. Well, okay, I did love watching Too Hot to Handle. That was so good. And I had got into Love Island and then got out of it. But then I also love reality TV shows like The Great British Bake Off. I still like watching that. I even loved it when it was on BBC Two originally with Mel and Sue. So I'm gonna say yes and no. I mean, obviously because they're reality, it's all different versions of it. Oh, I'm also really loving Married at First Sight. I always love it. The social experiment aspect is really interesting to me. So it's the same with like, you know, what was that Netflix show where they were in the booths and they had to propose before they even met each other? So Married at First Sight's a bit like that, but obviously they get to know each other first, whereas Married at First Sight, they literally meet each other at the aisle, which is quite fun. And I've been loving the US version and the Australian version. The Australian version is so fun because it's so dramatic and there's a lot of couple interaction and they have a big group of couples and they just, yeah, there's a lot of interaction, which I enjoy. And the UK one has never been successful, but I'm still watching it because it's so interesting to me to see that kind of social experiment and see how people behave in that kind of way. So I'm gonna say yes to reality TV shows, but not all of them. Okay. Question 12. Do you like scary movies? The answer is no. I don't like movies that scare me and that will give me nightmares. However, I'm not opposed to a thrillery kind of movie that has like a deeper meaning to it. So something that isn't like a poltergeist or like something that's like physically affecting you. So I didn't like Saw. I haven't seen The Invisible Man, but the trailer freaked me out. I did enjoy Bird Box, and I did enjoy, what's the one with the creatures that can hear you, but they can't see you? It had Emily Blunt in it, and they just made the second one. Oh, I forgot what it's called now. But yeah, I like kind of those thrillery ones, not like scary ones. I didn't like Scary Movie, even though that's like a parody of Scream. I didn't like Scream either, but like, yeah. Oh, and I also never used to like things like Final Destination, but I think I'm finding it a bit more funny now. I guess I've just grown up a little bit. We'll see. 13. Have you ever fired a real gun? No. Guns are really difficult to get your hands on in the UK, which I think is a great thing, and I don't think I'd ever want to touch a gun, so I'm cool with that. Question 14. Last film you watched. So it was on Netflix and I can't remember the name. Maybe I can find it on here. I will leave the questions in the description bar below and I shall also say which film it was in the description bar. Question 15. Do you like roller coasters? The answer is no. I'm not a thrill seeker. I have been on a few roller coasters. I'm not a crazy fan of super scary ones. I don't mind medium ones, and obviously the kid ones are really fun. So I'm good with all the ones at Disney. I'm good with most of the ones at Disney because I've not been on all of them, and obviously different rides, but like you get different things. I have been on like Colossus. I've never been on Stealth. Now I'm just naming Thorpe Park rides and here in the UK. But I have been on X No Way Out, which is the indoor backwards one. I think they've renamed it now. And I actually enjoyed going backwards because you feel safe because you've got like something holding on to you. So like when you're going backwards, you're like you just lean into it rather than being like, whew. I don't know. That's yeah, I'm not a thrill seeker basically. And question 16, which is the last one. Have you ever cried at a film? The answer is yes. I am a very emotional person and sometimes I cry. I cry at a lot of films that are sad. I cry at Korean dramas. I've cried at Pixar movies. You know, Up. Actually, I don't know if I cried Up. Did I cry at Up? I don't know. Definitely cried in the Feelings one. Inside Out, that's what it's called. Yeah, that one got me. Toy Story 4? Not 4. Toy Story 3, definitely. That one was sad. Yeah. I'm definitely an emotional crier. But sometimes I'm just like, whatever. Oh, I cried at Last Christmas. And then my friend sat next to me. She was like, nah, this film is stupid. But yeah, I was totally immersed in it and it was really sad. But yeah, I mean, so if you guys want to have a go at answering the questions or ask me any questions, again, I will leave the questions in the box below so you can just copy the list and then write out your answers so I can get to know you a little bit more, or you can just ask me a question that you want to and we'll see what happens there. Okay, so thank you for watching. I'm sorry that there's no proper vlog today. I will see you tomorrow with a new vlog, and yeah, stay safe, stay alert. Bye. I keep saying so at the beginning of these answers and I hate that. I do also would like to go, Hey everyone, so in lieu of VEM 17 or 16, it was 17, but yeah, a lot of guys.